And we are live on another edition, not only of another edition, guys, the last edition of All In on High School Sports, All In on NJIC football for the year 24. I guess it's 2024, right? Because we're not going to go into 25 for the
Yeah,
football
we still got
season.
another, what, 27 days? It's okay.
Couple 27 days.
That's crazy when you say it like that. Wow.
You know what, Jen? I'm going to give you the honor tonight. Who's on the panel tonight?
Well, we are welcoming with us, as always, the voice of St. Mary's, Eli and Jack. So, welcome, guys, and thank you so much for being with us once again. We want to thank you for all of your hard work, not only with us here, but behind the scenes, and always volunteering to come on with us and offer another insight to all things that are NJIC football, North Jersey football, really all, but specifically NJIC.
You know what we're going to do? Let's do this. We'll do this K&K style. I'm going to start with an opening statement, and everyone's going to give a little opening statement. My opening statement is, hey, this was fast. I remember going over week 0, making up the list. Jack and Eli wasn't even with us then, Jen, creating this, and we're here. So I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's getting ready for the holidays coming up. I know I am tired tonight because I had to watch my Denver Broncos go to 8-5 last night, baby. I'm watching my New York Knicks absolutely run Orlando out of the building. So I'm ready sports-wise for that. But, Jen, we had a lot of games to go over. So my opening statement is I am fired up for this last show of the season. Jen, your opening statement. Nope, we don't have Jen. It's frozen, Jen. Let's go to Eli.
All right, well,
opening statement.
First off, I want to say thank you guys for having us on once again. I'm eternally grateful, really, to be on here every week. And since week 0, when we started in Pequannock, that was our first game. We came on, and ever since we've been on, and I've been really appreciated. We learned so much more. Heard for so many different coaches. I learned more about the football game, and it's been absolutely a pleasure. And I'm so sad it's coming to an end already. It's like we just started, and now it's December 3rd already, and it's like we're about to start 2025. Can't wait for basketball season to kick off, and just so disappointed that it's coming to an end already.
Well, I'll just say this. Coming to an end, we'll be doing something in the winter, and you guys aren't off the hook. Next year, be ready for week 0. You're part of the NJIC football show next week. Jen, give me your opening statement.
Well, you know what? You kind of hit the nail on the head. I can't believe it feels like just yesterday we were not even just getting ready for like a preseason like outlook, but even just kind of hatching the idea of, hey, let's do a show specific to the NJIC, right, Kurt? Like where we just wanted to really highlight those teams. I want to thank all of the coaches and the players for coming on, sharing, their insights, taking the time. It shows how much they care about their programs, that this is kind of like an extension of that. They want to give our goal has always been to give the kids and the programs and the coaches the notoriety, but we couldn't do that without the coaches. I bother them with emails, and text messages, and they've been so responsive. And I really just want to thank them for that, because we could not have done this without them. And I hope that we gave the conference, the coverage that it deserves. So it's been fun, and it's not over. Like you said, it was a first step. And we couldn't have done it with everybody without the participation of everybody. So thank you.
Jack, your opening statement.
Yeah, first of all, I hope everybody had a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone's getting ready for the holidays as we come to an end in 2024. Yeah, obviously, obviously, as I said, I'm very grateful. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to be on your show every single week covering these games. It's been an absolute pleasure to be doing this with you guys, and it's really allowed Eli and I to learn so much more about North Jersey football, not just St. Mary's. And it's been great to hear from all these different programs, just hear what they're all about. And, to every team out there, no matter what happened to you this season, you guys are champions for going out there and just playing all these games and playing with heart and with courage. So shout out to all of you guys out there who had a terrific season. Yeah, so I'm obviously very grateful. It's hard realizing that this is the end of the season already. I mean, it feels like yesterday when Eli and I were up in Pequannock doing the St. Mary's opener, you guys were down in Lyndhurst at the Becton Lyndhurst game, and we were covering. Eli and I were on here for the first time covering the Pequannock game. Although Eli, you forgot to mention that our journey with Kurt and Jen actually began last year in November when we were on the show and Gabby Higgins interviewed us for the St. Mary's part of All In on High School Sports. So obviously, it's been great to get to know you guys for the last year or so. You know, great to meet you guys in person. I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you guys. And again, thank you so much for allowing us to be on every week. And I am very, very grateful to have the privilege of being on this show.
And again, like I said, I'm sorry, Jen, go ahead.
I was going to say, before you move on, I just wanted to give Eli and Jack a moment. You guys sat live courtside at the Seton Hall women's basketball game with Bobby, correct? Was that this week?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Last night.
Last night. How was that?
That was pretty awesome. I mean, to sit courtside and to watch those athletes play was pretty incredible to watch. And to speak with Coach at the end in the press conference, that was a special moment. Thanks again to Bobby.
Yeah, and also, and I didn't mean to just say sit courtside from a media perspective, right? With your media badges. And like you said, I was going to ask you, were you guys able to do, so you did a post-game interview?
Yeah, we did like a post-game press conference. You're in the locker room not locker room, the little meeting area where the coach met. And we took notes and we're with the rest of the crew there.
Awesome. What a great experience. That's so fun. Very nice. Good for you guys. Keep up the good work.
Couple comments from our great friend, Dr. John. Whoa, last show. Don't you have to do one more to discuss who won the pick segment for the season? Got game tomorrow. You know what? Let's do it, Dr. John. You know what? Next Tuesday, guys, let's book it. Next Tuesday.
It doesn't have to be a full. We'll do our the pick segment.
We'll do our pick segment.
Which buys me time.
That's why Dr. John is a doctor, right? That's why we call him Dr. John, because he comes up with great decisions. So, guys, next Tuesday night, lock it in. Jen has 1 week. I'll help her out. We'll get the final tallies.
Famous last words.
I know Kenny. Kenny's like salivating at the mouth. He thinks he won. I don't know if he thinks he won. When he thinks he won, that means he lost. So who knows? So
I thought he thought I won.
Yeah, I don't know. He every day comes up with a different answer. I don't. It's good if he thinks he won and he thinks you won. That probably means I won. Yeah, so that's good for me. Let him keep thinking that. So let's book that. I like that. So Dr. John's also saying, discuss who won the season. Got games tomorrow. And where was Mama Hoops all season? This isn't Christmas come early at all. No. But you know what? Like we said, Jen and Eli and Jack, we're going to work on something for the winter. We will do something. It's not going to be like it was for football, but we will definitely do something for the winter and the spring season. Coach Breslin, what's up, everyone? Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It sure is depressing that the season is over. I don't see any Ramapo gear. I hope you wore it to school. That is really cool. So, you know what, Jack? I want to give you the floor. I know you were delighted that Coach Breslin came through on his word. Ramapo gear. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, shout out to Coach Breslin for being in the chat all year. Love you, Coach. I wish Rampo could have gone farther, but they still had a great. Considering they started 0-3, that was still a terrific season that they had, especially winning some really tough games, especially at Morris Knowles in the sectional finals. Yeah, Coach Breslin's been in the chat all year. Really grateful for him. Obviously, thank you to Coach Breslin for sending all the gear. Got to have it on. I'll have it on soon. I promise, Coach. Just kind of throw on the Oklahoma hoodie because I saw in the college football playoff that Alabama was in. I was so mad. So I decided I wear the Oklahoma hoodie since they beat them a couple weeks ago.
Oh, how funny.
So
they beat them down. They beat them down. Not beat them. They beat them down, Jack. They beat them down.
Kind of why I have it, but shout out to Coach Breslin though, because this weekend I'm going to visit my family, my family is named Breslin in Kentucky. So
nice,
got a nice Breslin connection. That's why I love Coach Breslin, because family connection.
Now here's
you should wear your Ramapo gear there.
Yeah.
Now here's the most important. This is for Eli, Jen. Have you learned your lesson not to go against Coach Breslin and the Ramapo Raiders?
I have. I've learned my lesson.
Just saying. There's Coach Breslin saying, thanks. That was a pleasure. Happy to be part of the show. There's our friend Dale Cypus. I like this, Jen, for next week's show. All Bergen County football selections came out today. Can you make a graphic with all the players' names for next week's show? Absolutely.
Wait, can you put that comment up? I didn't see it. What was that one?
He said the all Bergen County football selections came out. Right? Can you make a graphic with all of the players' names for next week's show?
Yeah, great idea.
That, Dale. Our good friend Roy Osborne, who was probably a little tired because he's a Bronco fan like myself, saying, "Hey, y'all." Coach Breslin, that was a pleasure. Happy to be part of the show. All good. This might be the comment of the night, Dr. John. North Jersey Wing Tea Clinic, January 4th at Bloomfield. 8 a.m. 8 Windows 95 all day.
Kurt, that is like very close to where we are. So
we might be able to. I might be able to see, Jen. If I was retired and you got me my golf cart already, I could take the golf cart right down.
Go right down.
That would be cool for a golf cart, though. I'd have to visit your house more often.
Well, guys, I'm saying right now that we go down to Wildwood a lot, and if you ever go down to Wildwood, all they do is have golf carts. So I said to Jen, when I retire, that's what I want my present to be. I want a golf cart. Drive it in. We could drive it in the townhouse community. Go drive it to Dunkin' Donuts. That's it.
All right.
That's it. I'm down for it.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. That's one idea I think I had to agree on all season with Kurt.
Can you guys, Jack and Eli, can you guys see me driving in a golf cart?
Yeah,
that's my dream, Curtis, to drive in a golf cart. I'll come with you.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
We should go down to Florida retirement home, and drive the golf cart.
Florida retirement.
That's it. That's it.
And drive the golf cart around and have a round of golf. I have no clue how to play golf, but I think it'll be pretty fun.
It just looks pretty. Yeah, I'm not a golf player either, but I just like driving the cart.
That's the best part. Just driving the golf cart.
You should be a caddy.
There's Dale saying Coach Sadlock, one of the best wing tee guys, will be there. Possibly Don Smolin of Lenape Valley too. You know what, Jen? We should do it. I want to do one on the show. I really do. Have a little part, like a little clinic live on the show.
Didn't we have? Isn't Coach Gallagher a wing tee guy?
Yeah, but I mean, we could. Yeah. This would be awesome. I mean, we could design it with
we got a lot of guests who've been wing tee guys. So,
but I'm saying while we're doing the show, I would put the little Windows 95 logo in the show. Can make it look.
You're gonna ask them to sponsor it for us for real.
Yeah, exactly.
Windows 95.
Microsoft sponsoring us. Yeah, we're going back. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's go over. Let's start with the big one. Friday night. I watched it at MetLife. Bergen Catholic, 4 in a row. 4 non-public A state championships. They defeat Don Bosco. Jen, I'm going to go to you first.
Is there a question?
My question is just your thought. Bergen Catholic over Don Bosco for the.
Well, you know what? All season long, Jack, you and I have been saying we can't pick against them until someone beats them, right? Kurt, I think you hit the nail on the head last week by saying you just can't see it happening. Like I feel like everything was primed for Bosco to win that game, right? But I think you hit it when you said I can't see it happening with Vito and his son in their final year, and I mean, the talent on that field is it was just insane, and some of a glimpse of some of the younger underclassmen that'll be returning for Bergen Catholic, right? Crazy. But yeah, I think, and forgive me if I'm getting into one of your quick hitters here, Kurt, but I think they are. I know there's maybe a debate about who's the number 1 team in New Jersey, given the fact that Bergen Catholic and DePaul did not play each other this year. But I think it has to go to BC.
Coach Breslin, boy, was I wrong. Bosco could not do anything on offense. Defense played well for a while, but couldn't hold up. Dr. John said he's going to email us the registration for the Windows 95 clinic. Jack, your thoughts?
Yeah, just dominating performance by Bergen Catholic. What else is new? As Jen and I said, we were going to pick against them until somebody beat them. And, well, nobody in the state of New Jersey beat them once again here in 2024. They're just such a well-run program, great experience, so much talent. And you have so many of these kids, who go to college and continue to be great. So a lot of respect for their program, and congratulations to them on a 4th straight championship. That is not easy to do, especially here in North Jersey, where there are a lot of great non-public programs.
Eli.
First off, I'm annoyed at the fact that they gave them no school on Monday. Because they won the state championship.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, St. Mary's won the state championship volleyball. We didn't get no day off. I'm sorry. Hello, but just want to throw that out there first. My first thought. But wow, what a great game, and congrats to Bergen Catholic. What I would love to see, though, I would have loved to see St. Joe's and Bergen Catholic in the final on MetLife. Obviously, that was the game before that. That was really the game to watch for. More competitive. It went to overtime. Would have loved to have seen that matchup. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But hey, credit Bergen Catholic. They won. They're dominant, and they got no school.
I just gotta say this: Jackson Vaughn. If you guys watch the game, or if you just watch highlights, he's a defensive end. He's 6'3". He's number 98, I believe. And watching him, I was like, wow, I think he had 3 or 4 sacks in a game. And I'm like, where's he going to college? Well, he's not going to college. You know why? He's going to be around for 3 more years. This kid's a freshman. And you got to see him in a state championship game at MetLife in the biggest moment. I mean, Bosco couldn't block this kid. He made 4 big sacks in the game, but 2 like on crucial plays. And I mean, this kid already has something like 15 or 19 Division I offers. This kid is going to be an absolute. He might go down as one of the best defensive players ever. And I know I'm saying that early, but I mean, when you can't block this kid as a freshman.
I was like, Kurt didn't look like a freshman.
No,
have the build of a freshman.
Yeah,
and I mean, you playing to have the mental capacity to play in that big of a game as a freshman. That's something to be said as well.
Yeah. So, and again, when push came to shove, I mean, you know, Coach Campanelli went into a little bag of trips, 2 like jet sweeps for touchdowns, right? With the other Porter, not Quincy Porter, the other Porter. But hey, when they, you know, they got their running game going, their defense made plays, and you know what? I mean, listen, I think the record's 6 in a row. I think the record in that is 6 in a row. I believe Bosco, if I'm not mistaken, did Bosco? Somebody won 6 in a row state championship. So now they got 4. So 2 more. There's 2 more to see if they could tie that. But what an accomplishment! And again, let's give a shout out to Coach Sabella too. I mean, to get Bosco there again, they did it a couple games without their star quarterback. He was back, but hey, tip your hat. Bergen's the best team in non-public A. And just before I get to our first debate, let's go to non-public B, the game that started us off. There's our good friend Albert Knopper saying, "Have a great show tonight, Jen."
Thank you, Albert. Thanks for watching.
So let's start with the game that started it all off, and this was Friday at 11 o'clock. We were doing a little Black Friday shopping, Jen, but we were catching this, and we saw the end of this one. But non-public B, DePaul 33, Pope John 21. This game, honestly, was not, you know, it really wasn't a 12-point lead until late in that game, until Nolan James put that game away. But Pope John, an incredible run to get to the final. And I got to tell you, give them credit. They showed up. They were there. They had the lead. That game was going back and forth, Jen. But DePaul 33, Pope John 21. The other Coach Campanelli, right, gets a victory and another state title, 2nd in 3 years. And Nolan James ran wild. Nolan James, let me just get, I want to say he went for over 200. So I'll get the stats for you, though. I will get back. And by the way, Pope John had a running back, Tyleek Hill. You got to see this kid. I want to say he led the state in rushing. Another just stud for Pope John. But Jen, what's your thoughts on this game?
Again, you know, this was a matchup from earlier in the season where DePaul dominated Pope John early on. So, you know, it is, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, you know, DePaul goes in with all the pressure in the world. You know, what does Pope John have to lose? And if not mistaken, Pope John got on the board first and went up 7-0, right? So they really showed that they were there to play and they had no fear. I mean, they got there, you know, for a reason. They had a great run. We talk about teams getting hot at the right time. I think Pope John peaked at the right time, was playing their best football at the end of the season, which is key going into a game like that. But hats off to Coach Campanelli and his team. As you said, he's done a great job there with that program. And congratulations to him on another one.
By the way, Nolan James, who will be going to, he is a Notre Dame, he is committed to Notre Dame. 29 carries, 244 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And again, at the end of the game, when you know, those last final drives, I mean, they just put the ball in his hand and he took it home to the state championship. The kid is just an absolute stud.
I mean, do you think that's the difference there, Kurt, having a Nolan James versus, you know, again, I know you mentioned that Pope John had their own, you know, player as well who leads the state in rushing, but, you know, we talked about this ourselves, like Nolan James is arguably the strongest running back, right? So, like, do you think that's just that slight edge that gave them that push over?
Yeah, you know what? Like, we say it all the time, right? Especially now, you're in December. It's cold at MetLife. It's windy at MetLife. And you got to be able to run the ball. And listen, they were the more dominant team. I mean, you know, Pope John could not get them off the field. And hey, when the game came down, Coach Campanelli put it in the hands of their offensive line. And what a championship team does is a championship, you know, they did 2 drives, finished those drives off, punched it in. But yeah, I think the running game was the difference. And there's Coach Breslin said they have Burris too. They have Burris. I mean, they're wide receiver. I'm telling you, we always said, like, the skill kids on DePaul can be, you know, you can match them with any team in the state of New Jersey. Eli, what's your thoughts on DePaul getting another state title?
Well, first off, I want to congratulate Pope John because what it seemed like wasn't the best season, yet turned out to be a state championship playoff run. So I want to give all the credit to them. So congrats on that part. For DePaul, they're powerful. They're a powerhouse school. We saw them last year against St. Mary's, but you saw them a lot this year. They're a powerhouse school that has a lot of top named guys in there, and I think they are a powerful program. And I think I would love to see really the battle of the non-publics for the championship, the winner takes all, Bergen Catholic versus DePaul, because I think that'd be an epic game to watch out for, because to watch really, because both these teams are great. Fantastic win for DePaul, although, and like I said, too bad there's no like Bergen Catholic versus DePaul for all the marbles. That would be really an epic game to watch.
Jack.
Yeah, DePaul is a heck of a team. I mean, their one loss was to Del Barton, and they just dominated all season. Eli, we saw them last year in the state playoff game. It was not a great experience for us, but they're just a great program. They do so many things well there at DePaul, and that offense, you just cannot beat all the weapons they have on that offense. Obviously, the quarterback's up to about 20 D1 offers at this point. We mentioned Nolan James, is that his? What's the running back name? Nolan James. Yeah, Nolan James. Mentioned him. Obviously, he's you go to Notre Dame, right? That's what you said.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to beat them. One of my teachers at my school, who's the girls volleyball coach, St. Mary, says talent doesn't always win, which I think that's true. But for a team like DePaul, you put that talent together with the chemistry that they have, nobody's going to beat them. And we saw that this year in the state playoffs. So give a lot of credit to DePaul, and congratulations to them for winning a state title. They came up just short last year. They got over the hump this year.
Guys, our good friend Jay Cook saying hi, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Wishing us a happy Thanksgiving again. So let's ask the $1 million question. Bergen Catholic, DePaul, Jen, who's number 1 in the state in your opinion?
Bergen Catholic.
Okay. Does DePaul have any say in this?
I mean, listen, I'm sure you can make an argument. I'm sure that you know, I just feel like it's one of those things where, like, they didn't go head to head. You have the number 1 team who's been the number 1 team, has won 4 straight championships back to back. And you know, it's just, I think they had needed to play them and beat them this year in order to gain that number 1 spot.
Jay saying, I'm sorry, Coach Breslin is saying you are correct. Culture plays a big role in success. Jack, what do you got? DePaul, Bergen Catholic, who should be number 1 in the state?
Ramapo.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
No. Sorry, Coach Breslin.
Coach.
Yeah. Got another one. I'm just gonna keep racking them up. Man, that's tough. But Jem, we're gonna do it again. We do this every week. Until somebody beats Bergen Catholic, I'm not picking against them. So Bergen Catholic is my number one. And if I have to pick, how familiar are you guys with high schools from out of New Jersey, like national rankings? Do you guys really follow that or not really?
A little. I mean,
if I had to pick my number one team in the country, I'd go with Duncanville down in Texas. They're
okay.
great program. South Dallas, they're really good.
Okay. Eli, Bergen or DePaul?
It has to be Bergen. I mean, no question about it. I mean, Bergen's just that team. However, if we were playing and we were choosing a team not based off of like how they play and stuff, and just based off of the school and stuff, I choose DePaul because they don't give school off for nothing.
Coach Breslin liked that comment, Jack. Just so you know.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to do it. I got to go Bergen too. You know, again, their only loss. They did not lose again to the North Jersey team, like Jack. You said, Jen. We say it every week. You know, our only loss was an opening loss again against IMG. I mean, you're talking about national powerhouse. It's a powerhouse. But you know, I'm just gonna say this: where we turn around, we say like Campanelli, their running backs, their you know, the combination of skill kids at Bergen Catholic, and then you got Zammit, Nolan James, you know, you got Burrish, you got Joe. I mean, you know, they can match that. DePaul can match that. There's not many teams where you say my skill versus your skill. They could definitely do it. The difference is, do I think Bergen Catholic's line? You know what? Listen, I mean, I watched DePaul again. Just you know, DePaul's offense. DePaul, you know, relied on their run game. You got Nolan James. Listen, that would be a tremendous game. Listen, we don't get to see it. That's unfortunate, but I will say that, listen, until like you guys say, until somebody beats them, I'm going to put Bergen at number one myself. Jay is saying, hi, brother Kenny, and he's giving a pound to Kenny. Dale saying DePaul would be competitive if they played 10 times. Bergen would probably win 8 out of 10. So that's Dale's.
That was something that was the 10 game when I was coaching basketball and I would go scout a team. The head coach would always say, I'd write up my scouting report and the head coach would always go, all right, if we played 10 times, how many times do we win? And that was always his measuring stick. I love that. That's a good comment, Dale.
Okay. Group 1, our good friends from Cedar Grove who beat my beloved Butler Bulldogs. Cedar Grove rolls in. And Cedar Grove plays Glassboro. I believe Cedar Grove took a 7-0 lead and was like, oh boy, here comes Cedar Grove. And it didn't end well for them. 56-14, Glassboro defeats Cedar Grove. And we all know what kind of team Cedar Grove is. Kenny Smith, running back for Glassboro, 20 carries. You ready for this? 409 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow. It's believed to be a state championship record, 409 yards. Jen, your thoughts? I
mean, you know, Kurt, I mean, you just summarized it perfectly, you know, like, listen, I think I'll speak for myself picking the games when you get to these group finals and you're pitting North versus South. We've been covering the North all season long. And, you know, of course, we're a little more loyal to the North as well. But I mean, some of these South teams, I mean, that was just to see a team that impressed us so much, you know, get beaten in that fashion. You know, I mean, it speaks for itself. Yeah.
Glassboro had 587 yards of total offense in that game. Wow. Eli, your thoughts?
Incredible. That's I mean, just you read that side and it's incredible. Really, I was mind blown. Really, nonetheless. At the end of results, fantastic game. Not my favorite matchup of the day, but it was definitely a great game, and I'm glad. Good for a win.
Jack.
Yeah, Glassboro took Cedar Grove to school, didn't they, at MetLife on Friday night. Cedar Grove is a great team. They were undefeated, but, man, Glassboro just came in and they absolutely dominated on both sides of the ball. And it's great to see, you know, 2 undefeated teams battle it out in Group 1. You know, these smaller schools, it's great to see that they can still turn out talent the way they have. So congratulations to Glassboro on their state championship. Very well deserved.
You
All
know,
right.
Kurt,
All right,
I'm
Jen, go
gonna
ahead.
steal one of Eli's lines here. Like Eli, you always, whenever there was like two undefeated teams, you're like, someone's gonna win and move on, and someone's gonna get their first loss and their season ends, right? And it's always so hard on those finals. Like, I just hope that for those kids, as hard as that loss was for them, that it doesn't take away from what they accomplished that season. You know, they were still a sectional champion, a North champion. They had an incredible season. It's from a coaching perspective, it hurts me to see kids end a season like that after having so much success, you know, and that's what they remember. But hopefully as time goes on, you know, they remember all of the other things as well.
Jen, let's come back to you. Group 5, our good friend Coach Valdez makes a state championship game, but unfortunately, again, we're talking about the South. Toms River North, 41-14 over Union City. Jen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I picked Toms River North in this one. They're just, that good. It's, you could say the same thing here at the Group 5 level that we just talked about with Cedar Grove. Again, Coach Valdez, awesome season with Union City. You know, Coach Kurt, we're friends with him on Facebook, on social media, and I just love, like, the positivity that he spun even from, you know, that loss, with how much he didn't want his kids to forget how much they accomplished this season, which is so important. And I think that's where that coaching aspect comes in. Of course, they would have liked to get that final one, but it does not take away from all that they accomplished. I picked Toms River North for that game, but I, of course, was rooting for Union City and Coach Valdez.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they put up a lot of points, but let's give a major shout out to this Tom Rivers North defense. I mean, how many teams hold Union City to under 100? I believe they held them to under 100 yards rushing. And I mean, you know, we've talked where games where they've had 400 and 500 yards rushing, and in a state championship game to hold them under 100, we see why Tom's River North gets another state title. Eli.
Jack, maybe if it had been on the roof, it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
Maybe Butler versus Cedar Grove was on the blue turf. It would have been different.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right. Well, first off, I got to say is what a crazy game. And I can't pick Union City for nothing. The one time I don't pick them, the time that I don't pick them, they win. When I pick them, they lose. I don't understand when I play this when we come and comes time to pick this Union City team. Overall, big win for Toms River North. I'm proud. 41 points on the board, kept them to only 14. What a great game and what a big win. And like I said, I cannot pick Union City football. Yeah.
Jack.
A three-peat for Toms River North. How about that? Yeah, they went in. You know, I thought it was going to be a pretty close game. It was not. Toms River North showed why they're the best Group 5 team. You could argue they're the best public school in the entire state. I don't think that's a crazy argument to have. They had an absolutely amazing game, but you got to give credit, though, to Union City. They had a heck of a season. So many big wins. They got the redemption over PCTI. They had some other big wins in the playoffs over East Orange, a couple other teams. So it was a great Group 5 matchup. Unfortunately, the game itself wasn't as good as we thought it would be, but that's just because of how good Toms River North is. It's not really based on how bad Union City is, because they're a great team, but Toms River North, man, they are a heck of a team, and they showed it in the state championship.
Dr. John is saying, Eli, sounds like you're the kiss of death for Union City.
Clearly, and I live near them.
All right, and we got one more final. And listen, did Coach Breslin nail this one or what? Old Tappan, led by Coach Dunn. You know what? A lot of people are going to say an upset. They defeat Mainland 28-16. And guys, again, look up the highlights if you haven't seen this kid, Alex Orecchio. I've said this about him on the show. This kid does it all. I believe in this game. This kid ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, threw for a touchdown. This kid was a quarterback. Then they move him all over the field. They play him a little running back, a little slot receiver out wide. They get him the ball all kinds of ways. But Coach Dunn, again, gets it done. The defense shuts down Mainland's run game. Jen, Old Tappan, surprising to some, but should we be surprised? Another state title.
No, you know what? I think I was someone who during the season became a believer. Yeah, like I doubted them here and there. But yeah, and after, like you mentioned, what Mainland had done to Ramapo last year in this final, right? Like you said, Coach Breslin knows best, but no, definitely an impressive win for Old Tappan, and way to represent the North, because we were getting a little pounded by the South here in the finals.
Eli.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you mentioned. The North took it home for this one in Old Tappan. An epic game for them and an epic win for them. Nonetheless, they were a dominant team, strong, powerful, and they currently, I think, did the best for North Jersey, and we're very proud of them here up in North. The South can disagree, but we're proud up North.
Jack.
Absolutely. Well, I finally decided to pick Old Tappan. I picked against them so much all season, and fortunately, they proved me why I should have been picking them. Thank goodness. Yeah,
hey,
I would consider
this like me for Union City.
Well, Old Tappan actually won though, so that's the difference. Sorry, Eli, just had to point that out. But Old Tappan won though. It was a great game. I would consider it upset as well. Mainland, great team. You guys, I think everyone picked Mainland except for Eli and I. I think we were the only two who had Old Tappan. I'm not sure. Did Coach Breslin have Mainland or Ramapo? I kind of forgot.
You know what? I believe he took. You know what? I'm not. I think he took Mainland, but he was like, if anyone could do it, it's Old Tappan. I want to say it was like something to that. There's Dr. John. I mean, if you're Mainland, defending Group 4 state champs, drops to Group 3, good for Old Tappan. I think that's a lot of people who thought it would be a good game, but had Mainland in this one. That was me. You know, we looked last year with the Ramapo game and how, you know, they went up and down the field on Ramapo. I hope Coach Breslin went for potato chips on that. He didn't hear that comment. But, you know, by the way, I got to see Coach Breslin. Let's see, you know, he's not on there. Let's see if he put a couple pounds back on Thanksgiving. No games. Maybe had some potato chips last week. Okay.
Well,
that was not.
I know what to get him for Christmas now. Potato chips.
That's it. Give him a bag of potato chips.
Potato chips.
But let's do this, guys. I had a couple quick hitters that I wanted to hit before, you know, we go this week. And again, we will be doing a final show next week. I promise we will have final stats with records and stuff like that. But let's do this. I'm going to start with Jen.
Kurt, these quick hitters are NJIC specific, correct?
Yes, all NJIC specific quick hitters. All right. I want you to rank in order of confidence, 1 through 4, 1 being the most confident. This year's playoff teams: Butler, Becton, St. Mary's, and Glen Rock. Give me the order of 1 to 4 most confident that those teams will be back in. Again, everything's saying that if the divisions stay the same and stuff like that.
Right.
We don't know. But if the divisions stay the same, give me the order of confidence that those teams will be back in the playoffs.
And I'll give you my rationale. Kurt. I'm gonna go with 1 Butler. They were returning their quarterback. That's really to me the main reason. I mean, listen, they're losing a lot. They had some injuries they dealt with at the end of the season, but they persevered. Some kids stepped up and got some good quality. Oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience. So I think that they're going to just be reloading. Second, I'm going to go St. Mary's. They lose a ton, but I think Coach Johnson's going to reload. He has a little bit of advantage there, being able to reload a little bit differently. So I'm going to go with Coach Johnson for St. Mary's. And then I'm picking Glen Rock and then Becton as my 3-4. The reason being the loss of Nick Atme for Glen Rock and the huge loss of Jonathan Palsy for Becton. Not that I don't think those teams can get there, but you're specifically asking me to rank them. And I think that those losses are harder to fill for those teams. I'm giving Glen Rock the slight advantage over Becton at that 3 spot because of the sheer size of Glen Rock when we saw them. I have to be honest. They were, I was not expecting them to be as big as they were. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how those teams respond, honestly. You know, great coaching staffs all over. They'll have those kids prepared. But when you have losses like that, those are almost like I'm going to say, I feel like Jonathan Palisades is almost like a generational player there. You know, he did so much for them. You know what? I mean, Coach Marr is the first one to say it, like what that kid has meant to that program, you know? So I just think that's going to be big shoes to fill. And the team's going to have to adjust to being a team without riding the back of Palsy. So that's based on what they're losing to graduation. That's how I kind of ranked them.
All right, I'm gonna go next. I ranked them kind of a little different for a couple of different reasons. I'll explain real quick. One, Jen, I'm most confident in Butler, right? Smith is back. And I kind of like the landscape of that division. I know New Milford's there and Heights can be a problem. But you know, David Smith, they had some other young kids fill out that roster. They got a lot of experience, a sectional
I
title.
really didn't take I know we said the divisions into consideration, so I don't know if they're going to be the same, but go on.
Okay. Two, I'm going to go Becton. Listen, they lose my boy Palsy. I know that. And listen, I'm going to be heartbroken he's not on the show next year. But we'll figure something out. We'll get him on from
We're going to get him on somehow.
We'll get him on from college. I mean,
He'll be our first Where Are They Now
you know,
segment.
Where are they now? For the next time Palsy's on and he's live and he's home. Will he have the Bo Nix number 10 jersey up to the Elway jersey? That's what I'm
No.
Will he have the Bo Nix
I'm sorry. You cannot put Bo Nix next to Elway right now. I know you're happy about Bo Nix, but let's not get crazy.
All right, Jen.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe by then they'll have the number 18 Manning up there. How's that?
Okay, that I'll give you.
Okay, but I'm gonna go Becton because here's why. I think their main competition this year was Lyndhurst, and Lyndhurst loses a ton, right? Bellinger, Marino, a lot of their offensive line. So I'm going to go Becton there just because of the division. Again, this can change if divisions change, but if it is right now, I'm a lot more confident that Becton can get out of that division. Three, I'm going to go St. Mary's. They lose a ton. There might be no team that loses as much skill as them, but just like you said, listen, Coach Johnson's probably working right now and reloading that. You got Hortes coming back. You got, oh my God, Messina is going to be a big time player there next year. So St. Mary's, we're back. So I'm going to go 3, and I'm going to go Glen Rock, the least confident. I'm going to save that for a while for my next nothing against Glen Rock, but that division, and there's a certain team that right now I put as the favorite to get to the playoffs next year, and we'll get to that question next. Jack, give me your list.
I'm going with Butler. One, I agree with you guys. I'm going to agree with you, Kurt. I've got Becton at 2. I'm going with Glen Rock at 3 because I've talked to somebody from Glen Rock, and he told me he is not very confident in them being good next year because they're losing a lot of seniors, a lot of their top players. But I still think that Glen Rock will still be a solid team because they have some good juniors on the team who we saw last year. So I think they'll be okay. I'm going to go with St. Mary's at 4. I don't mean that a bad way. I just think they're losing too much talent, and a lot of this talent has grown with Coach Johnson over these last 4 years, and they're going to have to basically start fresh next year. So I think the Gales will take just a little bit longer to adjust to the new team. So that's what I'm going with.
Eli.
First off, how could you do this? Put me on the spot like that. No, I'm joking.
Hey,
Eli's a little nervous right now.
I hope he's not watching. Fingers crossed. All right, well, we're gonna start off with this. I think Butler, is the most confident. I think they're not losing as many guys compared to the other 3 teams that we're gonna list. So I think it has to be Butler at number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Glen Rock. Despite them losing some guys, I don't think they're not gonna be as hurt as Becton, which I'm going to have at number 3. And I'm putting St. Mary's last. Becton, of course, Paul's either losing. One key big factor to this Becton team. But the reason why I have St. Mary's at last at number 4 is because, as Jack mentioned, they're starting fresh new. The coaching staff's great. They've got some returners, but they're missing pretty much the center, your O-line, your quarterback, some top wide receivers and running backs, and your kicker. You're basically starting a brand new team. I know there's some players already that are on the team that are JV and moving up slowly, but I just don't see that St. Mary's team that we had this year happen again next year.
You guys better avoid Coach Johnson tomorrow. That's all
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
You see, this Kurt likes this to hurt us a lot. That's what I see here. I noticed that. He's
Kurt
out
totally
for
set
some
you up.
reason. He wants this beef. I noticed. I don't understand why. I just didn't see it.
I
What-
didn't
like I
force
said,
I
what
didn't
if we
force
did
any
anything-
words out of your mouth. That's all I gotta say. I didn't have them fourth.
Well, I just want to say again, nothing against the coaching. I just think that there's a lot of big shoes to fill,
Of course.
a lot of more
We're just
players
kidding.
to fill, and I cannot feel as confident I am as the other 3 teams that we saw. And again, I hope you're not watching, Coach. Because I hope.
Let's get to this one. And I'll start with this. Give me a team that didn't make the playoffs this year that will be in the playoffs next year. And my first team, I'm going the Rutherford Bulldogs. And that's why I put Glen Rock last. I said from day one, don't let Rutherford, after that loss, they lost a heartbreak after the loss to Waldwick. They lost a heartbreaker to Glen Rock. Then they came back and lost a heartbreaker in the playoffs too. Who did they lose in the playoffs? Was it Hanover Park? No. Jen, was it Hanover?
Who did Rutherford lose to?
Yeah.
Hold on, I can tell you in a sec.
But it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. It wasn't Shabazz, I don't think. Was it Hanover?
Might be.
Hold on. They're Group 1.
They're Group 2.
Oh, hold on. So, was it North 1 or North 2? Do you remember?
Not sure. By the way, Dr. John is saying Eli's holiday background game is strong. Did you decorate that yourself? Not gonna lie, you're totally festive for the season. There Bernard's. So I'm going Rutherford. I just think Balkan's back. Going to be year 3 in this system. Coach Dunn over there. I'm sorry.
That's a good pick.
I'm going Rutherford. Jen, who do you got?
I'm going to go Park Ridge.
Good one.
Yeah. I think Rutherford's a good one. I think that's a definite possibility as well. Again, I don't know how they're going to do the divisions, if it's going to change yearly. I don't know how that's going to work, which is so hard because you love to get these in-division rivalries, and you hate to lose that. But at the same time, things change. So, but I think Park Ridge, I think Coach Cleary's done a really nice job there. And I think I think Patrick Randolph is going to come back stronger. And it's just, he was dominating as a freshman and getting stronger and stronger. I think I'm going to go with them.
Eli?
I think I'm also going to go with Rutherford. I'm going to agree with you, Kurt. I think that they're going to come in strong. They're going to take some notes from the season, and they're going to develop well, I think, up for next season.
Okay. Jack?
I am going with Hasbrouck Heights as my sleeper
Good
team
one.
for next
Good
year.
one.
You got Napolitano returning next year, and a lot of really talented players. They had a great season this year, and I think they're going to be even stronger next year.
Yeah, and they get the consistency with their coach for year 2, Coach Seri. So that's a good one, too.
Jen, on the spot, 2 more real quick. Give me 3 players you are excited to see next year in the NJIC.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say Patrick Randolph is gonna be one. I'm gonna say this is hard. I wish I had my notes in front of me. I think I'm interested to see David Smith with a new core of people around him, right? And I think he's the type of player who will elevate those kids to step into the roles that are missing with Mikey Hennehan, PJ Coffey, right? And then actually, you know what? I'm going to say Napolitano because also I think Nazir Owens may have ended up leading the NJIC, and we have to get those stats officially. I don't want to make any false statements here, but as a leading rusher in the conference, but I think Napolitano. So I'm going to go those 3.
All right. I'm going to definitely go with Patrick Randolph. I mean, this kid was one of the best players as a freshman, so I'm definitely going to go with him. 2, can you help me? I always say his name wrong. How do you say his name? How do you say it?
Huertas.
I can't say it like that.
That's right, Kurt. I can't either. Don't worry about it.
But I'm going to say
you got to roll the R. That's all.
That's a good one, Kurt. That's a good one.
You know what? And for this reason, for this year, you had Nazir Owens, Cunningham, White, right? You had obviously Higgins, you know what? Like you had other people around. I think he's going to be the focal point of that offense next year. And I'm excited to see him as that focal point of that offense and what Coach Johnson, how to get him the ball in a lot of different ways, both sides of the ball. But this kid's a playmaker, Jen. We've always been and said, oh my God, look at this kid. So I want to see him as the #1 option next year, what he's going to do.
That's a great call. We were so impressed with him at the, like you said, even with all those, other players who maybe received a little more notoriety this season as seniors, but he made plays all over the place when we saw them against Glen Rock, right, Kurt?
Yep. And #3, it's going to be a little shocking, is I'm going to take Eli from Becton, Jen. I'm excited.
That's a good one too.
Decked out as a freshman, he dressed up, he came on the show, but listen. It's not about filling Palsy's shoes. You're not going to do that. That kid, like you said, is a generational player. That'll always be Tebow on our NJIC show. But Eli's a different player, right? Like Eli's, I'm excited to see how Coach Marr now puts this offense around Eli. Just totally different player than Palsy, right? Mm-hmm. So they do different things. And I'm excited to see what that, because they got a lot of skilled kids coming back. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see how Eli in his role, again, played a little as a freshman when Palsy unfortunately got hurt, but now 2 years later, sitting behind Palsy, seeing like how a star player plays.
And he came in, right? They ran a little package, right? Yeah. Little package. He was special teams, right? I mean, And
but now
you give him a lot of credit for doing what the team needs him to do. Like you said, he's kind of like been waiting behind Palsy. So that's a great one. That's a good one.
And now it's going to be his offense. So those are my 3. Eli, you have 3 for me?
Yes, I do have 3. I'm going to go 2 from St. Mary's because I think I have to right here. Well, Patrick Randolph for sure. We have to go with him. No question about it. From St. Mary's, Jonathan Huertas and Thomas Mazzina. I think those two guys, because we haven't seen enough of them so far. I mean, we've seen plenty of them, but we haven't seen fully enough playing all of the minutes. We usually don't see them as often because we have those BJ Cunninghams, we have all those guys. To see them more now, that's what's going to be key here. And I remember we're going to see something special, I feel. So that's why I have to pick those 2 guys.
Eli, what a great point. And I feel like even with that like senior laden team of St. Mary's and those names that we just mentioned week after week after week, right? Like you still know those names, Huertas and Messina, right? Even though they, so I think it could really be breakout for them. Those are 2 good ones.
They're to watch out for.
Yep. Got to go with Patrick Randolph, obviously, the freshman from Park Ridge. Got to go with Jonathan Huertas from St. Mary's. And my 3rd one, I'm going to go a bit of a different route here. Nobody that's been mentioned yet. I'm going to go with the quarterback from Rutherford, Miles Balkin, as my 3rd one. Only a sophomore. I think we're going to see – it's going to be interesting with Rutherford because they're losing Chris Joya. So we'll see what Rutherford does. But with Coach Dunn there, anything's possible. They're a great program, and I think Miles Balkin's due for a big breakout next year.
Dr. John doing some studying. My favorite returning NJIC players, Jesse Schratz. Again, know his dad. Elmwood Park.
Yep.
Nico Razzanini. Razzazino. Becton. Johan Fabian. Pompton Lakes.
That'd be Jonah.
Oh, Jonah. What I said?
Johan.
I was close. I'm sorry. I was close. It's late.
Just a little close.
Listen, I was up late last night. It's late. All right. So here's the last thing I want to do. We have a couple minutes. I know we'll go over 2 minutes. Jack, I'm going to start with you. Pick somebody out of me, Eli, and Jen. Just you're not going to know what it is. Just pick. Just give me
pressure on me.
Go ahead.
I don't know where this is going either, guys.
I have to pick somebody?
Yeah, out of those 3, just pick it.
No context, I just have to pick one?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a reason, so just pick one.
I'll pick Jen.
Okay.
Thanks, Jack.
Jack.
I see
Eli.
what
You
I
might
see what.
really be thanking him though.
Yeah, you might be thanking me, Eli. Keep that in mind.
Okay, Eli, pick somebody out of. You
Okay.
can't pick Jen. So pick me, Jack. Pick me or Jack.
Oh, I gotta pick either you or Jack. Oh, great. Jack.
Okay.
Thanks, Eli.
I'm gonna take Jen. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take Eli. So Jen, you have to take me.
I get stuck
Okay.
with you again.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we are gonna do. Jen, actually, Jen's gonna go first. I need you to. We're all gonna do real quick from our show. We're gonna intimidate. We're gonna
Oh.
what's the word? Imitate each other. So Jen, you got me. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I got the
Just
easiest
a quick
one.
line. Go ahead.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Tebow? Go against Tebow? I got Becton. Yeah. How was
Okay,
that?
very good. Very good.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah.
I got Eli. We got Cedar Grove 12-0. Becton 12-0. This is game of the week. One of them is going to go to 13-0. The other is going to get their first loss. That's Eli.
Oh no.
That's
Bang.
Eli.
Eli, you got Jack. Here
Oh
we go.
man, I gotta think of one for Jack.
Oh my God.
I got one for Jack.
I get Jack's.
You want to go, Jen?
What is
First,
it?
go ahead.
Jen,
Oh,
I want to
Jack.
hear yours.
Go, Jen.
On the blue turf.
Yeah, exactly. On the blue turf with the
On top of the roof.
There
With
you go, on top of the roof.
On top of the roof.
Top of the roof. Jack, you got Jen.
Oh God, how am I supposed to do that?
Would it
Can
be
I
easier if
give
you
you a
just
hint,
picked me,
Jack?
Jack?
Can I give you a hint?
I got it.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, can you guys all hear me? All right. We're joined by Eli Weintraub, Kurt Valenti, Jen Valenti.
That's it.
Guys, did I get all your names right? Just want to make sure.
That's it. That's where I was going, Jack.
That's a winner right
That's where I
there.
was going. That's where I was going. We are
I hope I did a good job.
That was good.
Bravo.
That was good. Okay, my last one is you got to give me, because I know I got problems and issues. I know I do. But you guys got to give me what was the favorite thing I did on the NJIC show this year. Go ahead, Jen.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Funniest or best, my best performance. What was the best one, Jen,
This year,
this year?
honestly, I'm gonna pull out the Tebow one because I didn't know where you were going with that one. That one was a surprise. That one was a surprise. I'm gonna go with the Tebow moment.
Eli.
I think it's the Broncos video play right before, and then going on with the suit, saying I would go in a suit. Yet we haven't seen it yet for Butler.
No, I haven't got the conference. I'm still waiting for Coach Luciani to reach out. Give me the date of what. I just hope it's not a day of the Bronco game because then I can't go to that.
Oh my
I'll go virtually.
Virtual.
I'll go virtually. Jack, what do you got? Anything?
It's got to be the marching band. When you want me to conduct you for the marching band, like, you know, the Butler marching band.
By the way, Jen, tell the news about what there was. I was wrong on something.
Yeah, that was not the fight song. It was the alma mater song, and we did get the fight song. Oh, Kurt, we gotta do that next week too.
Yes.
Yeah, we did get the fight song sent to us. So thank you
think it's
to I
weird.
believe it was Karen Smith who sent it
Yeah.
to us.
So
So
we
thank
got a
you
lot
for
going
that.
on next week. We
Yeah.
might, Jack and Eli, we might be, you guys might be part. I'm gonna sing the fight song, but I need some help with the fight. So we got a lot of work to do next week. Dr. John saying, side note, big news. I took over as AD at Burlington Township in February. NJSIAA just announced Burlington Township is the 2024 student section of the year.
Oh,
Wow,
cool.
Wow.
You know
Very
what?
cool.
Let's get them on. We should, you know what?
Absolutely.
Then you know what? I want to see a video right now. Right now. I want to see a live video with Dr. John in the student section. What do you think?
Right now.
No,
now.
I'm saying right
I
now.
don't know if that's
I wanna
possible, but I
see-
mean,
I want to see footage of Dr. John in the student section.
Well, I mean,
of the
if
year.
he doesn't, I mean, if he doesn't have that, he can't just manifest that.
No, he's got to get it done during basketball season.
Okay, all right.
Get it
Okay.
done.
Well, I think this was for football, right? So
We're dealing with a doctor here. He can get that done. Come on. Okay, couple comments. Karen Smith, you are very welcome. Can't wait to see what Kurt has in store next week.
Pressure's on.
You know what's great? The Broncos are off on Sunday, so I have a lot of work. I have a lot of
Time.
work to do
It's a
this
bye
week.
week. You have time.
For once, he's going to put the work in and not
Yeah,
fall asleep.
right. Bronco
Whoa,
bye week.
listen
Yeah.
to this comment from Dale. What I found out this year, actually last week, that Kurt and Jen are married. Don't take this the wrong way, but watching this podcast the last few years, I thought that Jen was Kurt's daughter. I might have to ban Dale for that comment.
That is the comment of the century. I love it. Thank you, Dale.
Yeah,
I think.
There you go. There you go. Look at you, Jen. You got the comment of the night.
That's awesome.
Oh my
You
God.
got it. He's going to email it.
Oh,
to us.
awesome. I never doubt Dr. John.
Don't ever doubt a doctor. We have
Yeah.
to listen. We put our lives in the hands of doctors. So
Yeah.
if you're a doctor anyway, you're a doctor. But
That's still the comment of the year.
that's definitely the comment of the year. All right, so let's do this.
Comment of the century.
Comment of the century. So, guys, you got Jack and Eli. You in for Tuesday? Final show.
I don't. Well, probably not because we're going to the Devils game for a school trip.
Oh,
Oh,
what's
nice.
So
Tuesday
we
night?
may have to do a different Tuesday.
Well, then you know what we might do? Then we might have to do it Wednesday.
Kurt, don't put them on the spot on the
Okay,
show.
we'll
figure it out.
we'll make it out.
Trust me, I want to be here for the finale show. I want to be here.
You want- like, this is the finale show. We got a lot going on. We're going to do final.
So we're
Again,
gonna have to maybe do it Wednesday or something.
We'll figure it out. We will definitely figure it out. New shirt. Hoops is Kurt's daughter.
Aha.
He wants to sell them. He wants to start doing it. We will work on. We'll decide Tuesday, Wednesday because we want the whole family to be together.
Yes.
You all got to be together. So we'll make it work. All right. We will make it work. Again, that we're gonna have final stats, records. We'll do all the we'll do the singing of the fight song for Becton. There'll be a lot of
Butler for Butler.
Butler. Almost saying
Butler.
Butler.
Wow, hold on.
Butler.
You right?
We got a lot. I might be in the blue suit next week. There might be a lot of
Oh, wow.
surprises. So we will get that done for next week.
I think the surprise we already passed it. We had a comment of the year. And we just did imitations and
was
everything.
You hit imitation. Oh my goodness.
And by
Jack
the
had
way,
the winner for the day.
guys, real quick, last thing I want to get to because there's 2 state championship games tomorrow.
Right.
But one last thing, Jen's texting me to end it to get off the air because I'm late. But real quick,
You're babbling. I mean,
No,
like,
no, real quick,
seriously, you're just going on and on.
I want Dale. I'm going to give Dale a little. I'm giving Dale homework for next week because there were 2 teams. Shabazz is playing tomorrow, and Phillipsburg is playing tomorrow, and both of those teams lost Thanksgiving games. I want to know if that has ever happened where 2 teams playing a state championship game lost a Thanksgiving game. So, Jen, only Jen, do you think does that matter going into tomorrow's game?
I say no. I think that I think it could possibly work to their advantage, right? Like you get to end this now a way that you want to end it. We don't know like what the coaching staff did in preparation for the state tournament game, if they held back, if they held players out, right? Knowing that that is something grander that they're playing for. So no, I don't think it is a hindrance.
There's Kenny. What did I just turn on? Well, if I was to imitate Kurt, guys, what's that number say in the standings? Well, Kurt, I believe Jen might have that honor, but Jen, don't hold me to that. I've been wrong before. LOL. Well, at least he admits that he's wrong. So we will have those numbers next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll finalize that. Dale's saying it doesn't matter at all. All right, real quick, 30 seconds or less. Final thoughts, guys. Great show. You know what? We said it's the final show. It's not the final show. We're doing one more final show next week with a lot.
One more.
Hey, it's so much fun. I'm going to be fired up for next week. And congrats to all the state champions and good luck to the 2 games tomorrow. Jen, final thoughts.
Yeah, congrats. Just to echo your sentiments, congrats to the teams that have been crowned state tournament champions. Congrats to all the teams. You know, part of the reason we do this show is to not just recognize, of course, we want to give the recognition to the championship teams, but you know what? There's high school athletes working hard day in, day out in all of these programs. They all deserve that recognition. So the fall season has come to an end almost with these final 2 games. So congratulations to all of the teams, the coaches, the programs on their efforts all season long.
And also, Dale, we will have the all-county stuff for you for next week. Jack, final thoughts.
Yeah, great season. Thank you guys again so much. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. Unfortunately, for the first time, I have to say, Coach Breslin, enjoy the potato chips.
Wow.
But other than that, great season. Congrats to all the teams. And for those who didn't live up to their expectations or what they set for themselves, you'll get there next year. Just keep working hard, keep grinding. It's going to be a great season next year. And hey, anything's possible in this sport. Just keep your bodies healthy and go out and ball out next year. For all the seniors, congrats on your 4 years and good luck in your future endeavors.
Well,
Eli.
First off, congratulations. As we mentioned, it's a hard-earned season. I had such an awesome time, and we have one more show to do, and I'm making sure I'm going to be there. So I cannot wait for it. We have more in store, and that imitation thing was the best part of the night, not just to mention the comment, by the way. Best thing of the night. Just made my night.
It. All right, guys. See you guys next week. Follow us to make sure if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but we will definitely be doing a show next week. Have a